Hey everybody, this is Kenny Cummins here of Chilling with Kenny C right here on TMV Cafe, bringing you entertainment to your ears. And for the wrestling fans out there, I'm joined with my guest at this time. She is the goddess. She has won championships. She has traveled across the country, making a name for herself, and she's going to continue to do so this year and many more years to come. I'm joined with Nyxx. She is with me right now. Hello there.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining me.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Coming
Awesome.
off of a very busy wrestling weekend for us
Right,
all.
right.
Um, so we'll just dive into that first. Did you get a chance to watch one or both nights of WrestleMania by any chance?
I actually watched both nights. I had a show night one, but so we had the show going on, but we
Yeah.
had TVs in the locker room. So one of the guys hooked up his phone to an HDMI to the TV. So we were
Yeah.
watching Mania while running our own show. So it was pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Got a little technology. That's what's
Absolutely.
up.
Absolutely.
So for what you've been able to see, how did you feel about the shows, the matches? What stood out to you? What was something in particular that stood out to you on WrestleMania weekend?
The main thing that I really would like to applaud is the whole culmination of the Cody Rhodes storyline,
Yeah.
the storytelling, not just leading up to it, but like how they were able to kind of harness everything in that one match, bringing out John Cena, The Rock, The Undertaker, Roman hitting Seth with the chair, bringing us back like what 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of those things, they were able to wrap it up so nicely. And I was kind of worried about how they were going to end Roman's era because he's been the champion for years.
Yeah.
And there's been so many times where people thought that he was going to be dethroned and then he wasn't. So I was like, they've had several opportunities to end it in a good way.
Mhm.
Worried that the way that they would end it would flop after missing out on all those opportunities. But the way that they ended it, that was chef's kiss. That was good. And it was a great way to kind of start the Paul Levesque era of
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah. I just looking back at it, that was just if you're Paul Levesque, you have to be encouraged
Yeah.
with this, not just Saturday and Sunday, but just the 4 day span, the week plus in
Right.
Philadelphia. Now, granted, for those that was in attendance, had to go through the cold,
Right.
that was funny that Michael Cole had to keep mentioning the weather on Saturday, and then he only mentioned it twice on Sunday.
Right. Right.
So, but nonetheless, it was really good.
Yeah.
I was sold for Cody to leave, to reinvent himself,
Yeah.
go to all these promotions, dyed his
Right.
hair blonde,
Right.
becoming this American nightmare, and
Right.
people follow him the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
And what also was encouraging is that some of the AEW peers show their congrats on Sunday. Um, so it's just, wrestling is in good hands.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it.
With Cody Rhodes' transformation too, I kind of wanted to stop at that point because people kind of forget that wrestlers go through journeys to become who they are.
Yeah.
The Rock didn't just start off as The Rock. Roman didn't start off as the tribal chief. People used to hate Roman.
Yeah.
Then when he became like the tribal chief and the head of the table, and he was just like this, not even just like a monster heel, he was just like the heel. He was the guy that everybody loved to hate. Um, and wrestlers have to go through these like weird transitions where people don't necessarily like them anymore. Drew McIntyre wasn't always the way he is now.
Yeah.
He's smaller, people weren't really paying him much attention. Then he left, reinvented himself, and came back. Um, so I really like the fact that Cody didn't get discouraged when his first run with WWE wasn't really what he wanted it to be. He went somewhere else, he made opportunities for himself, and then he came back.
Yeah.
So the guy. So, you
Oh
know,
yeah. It was a wonderful night for him. Brandy and just the peers that was there to celebrate with him.
yeah,
Those that was there, like Randy Orton, like he was there from Cody early years with
yeah,
Legacy.
right.
And so that must have been a father moment for Randy, just seeing, yeah,
Yeah,
he grown up literally.
literally before
Uh,
eyes.
so
Yeah,
so that
yeah,
that it Paul Levesque, I truly believe he's got things are looking up
yeah,
for WWE, and when Michael Cole said professional wrestling, I mean, yeah, that just tells you all you need to know as far as the direction
yeah,
that they are going
yeah.
moving forward. So I'm sold. I'm and WrestleMania 40 will be talked about for many years. That's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
be like the turning point, the beginning of something new.
yeah. And
Um,
it was a history making WrestleMania on several, not just the matches, even with the people in attendance, the merch sales that they probably had. Like it was a
yeah,
history making. So
history making moment. I like Jay Cargill with
yeah,
Bianca
yeah.
and Naomi.
Mhm.
Um, Jay, she is as advertised.
She looks good.
She is a goddess. No pun intended. She's literally a goddess, like head to toe. Like she she sh- she's destined for this.
Yeah.
So to have that moment with Bianca and Naomi,
And then I just
um,
like black women win. So like
yeah,
all three together just does something for me. You
yeah,
know? Yeah.
that was a beautiful moment there.
Yeah.
So just so much to digest that weekend. It was overall good
Right.
for fans in general.
Bailey finally won. Like
Yeah,
I really needed her to have that championship win. It really would have been a downer for me had she not.
yeah.
Um, but that match was pretty good too. And then she finally, finally got her championship during her press conference. She was wearing a do you know who Jada Stone is?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
So I met her a few times and then I did the Mickey James masterclass with her last year. So like seeing somebody that I've, shared a space with be represented that way and kind of like get the accolades that she so much deserves because she's such a hard worker. That's a pretty big deal. So I'm really happy for her on that front. That was really cool.
So I live in Kentucky,
Hmm.
and my introduction to Jada was through OVW.
Oh, okay.
So I got to see her several times. I've
Yeah,
also interviewed her back in 2022.
okay.
She's definitely one of the fastest rising
Hmm.
stars in the independent scene,
Super talented.
and she's just so athletic. She literally lives up to her name, the Spark.
Yeah,
Uh, so if you ain't familiar with Jada Stone, ladies and gentlemen, get familiar with Jada Stone. She,
as you should.
yeah, as you should. And but Bailey is a real one.
Yeah.
For that, she's always been a selfless person.
Yeah, she has.
From her relationship with Mercedes to putting together damage control, like
Right.
just wanting to see them thrive and
Yeah.
everything, knowing
Yeah.
that she was going to eventually get her big moment.
Right.
So everything about that with
Yeah.
EO and Bailey, that was also a chef kiss moment.
Yeah.
And you know, EO is just so talented.
She
Uh,
is.
so the women's wrestling definitely stole the show this weekend. Of course, Bailey, Becky, and Rhea on night
Yeah.
one too. So
Yeah.
it was it was a special night
Mhm.
for everybody involved.
Yeah.
So Miss Goddess, I want to
Yes.
focus on you a
Okay.
little bit more. As far as 2024, what can people expect from you next? What you have on the horizon that
Okay.
your fans need to keep an eye on?
Okay. So, there's some things I can't really talk about. There's a lot of things that are in the works, but I do have some really cool stuff coming up. I have some shows coming up with like my home company. I'm actually waiting. So I have this championship here.
Ooh,
the first champion that I won. This is the Alpha Wrestling Association Women's Championship. I'm the inaugural champion. I've had the championship for a little over a year now. So, you know, first woman to ever hold it. I like being a history maker. And speaking of history,
Oh,
this past weekend, with my home company, All Pro Wrestling in Marianna, Arkansas, I won their Workhorse Championship, and I'm the first woman to ever hold it. So I was in a triple threat for that. Only woman in the triple threat. Had to go ahead and snatch it off of them. Nothing personal. But yeah, it was a really big deal for me because I've been with this company. It'll be 3 years in June, and this is kind of a culmination of all the work that I put in just there, because that's home for me. That's where I train. The locker room is great and all that. So later on this month, on the 27th, we're doing a show for the Special Olympics, and I want to say Forest City, and it'll be the first time that I will be defending this bad boy right here. So. And then of course, I took a break from Memphis Wrestling. It's been a minute since I've been on there, but I may or may not be back on this month. We'll see.
okay.
But yeah, and then of course I'm trying to, do bigger things. I'm trying to see if I can get back at Ring of Honor because I had a match with Ring of Honor back in October. Trying to see if I can get back at TNA because I had a couple spots over there with them. So we'll see.
Okay. First things first, congratulations on both titles.
Thank
the
you.
purple one in particular, inaugural champion.
Ain't she pretty?
And she's so pretty. Like the title design looks outstanding, and that the title, your red title there, looks like a horse in the middle, workhorse. So, and that definitely holds near to your heart, considering you've been with the company for a minute. You worked your way up, and now you are their champion. And that is my introduction to you. Actually, was the Ring of Honor things. I was like, I'm walking with this girl. I'm walking with the goddess. So
to be real, even when it comes to like that, I didn't even go there expecting to have a match. When I got invited out, I expected to just be in the back, maybe rub a couple elbows, network a little bit. So when they told me I had a match, I was freaking out. Was freaking out because I had only by that point been in the ring less than 2.5 years. Like I haven't been doing this for very long. So the opportunities that I've had in this business, while I feel like I've worked hard for them, it still feels like luck. Like people think that all this is just like hard work, and a lot of it is that. But if it was just about hard work, everybody would be in the WWE because I know a lot of hard workers, but a lot of it is just like pure luck and being in the right place at the right time with the right people. So that moment, I was in the right place at the right time with the right people. So yeah, and it's really cool that that's how you got introduced to me. I didn't know that. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, so of course that was the one, and then I started following your career after that, and of course you mentioned Memphis Wrestling. I started watching it on their YouTube channel. I actually met one of the Memphis wrestlers just recently. She is the current women's champion, Mackenzie Morgan. So, and there's a promotion called Derby City Wrestling, which is right in the part of that umbrella United Wrestling Network. With David Marquez. So, so once I started walking with Derby City, I was watching Memphis Wrestling and Championship Wrestling out there in California. So, so shout out to David Marquez. He's doing awesome things, with the network. So that's pretty cool. So check out Nyxx The Goddess. Check her out on social media. Nyxx The Goddess on Instagram. I'm looking at your Instagram bio.
You see my profile?
Yes. My favorite one is the pronouns
Mm-hmm.
Try me.
Yep. Yep.
Oh man, that is so gangster. That's so that is so hard. Um,
Yeah. I
so
mean, if any tagline really represents me, it's that one. It's definitely that one. Because I ain't afraid of nobody, man or woman. It means absolutely nothing to me. I started my career fighting men. So, you know,
that's what's up. She take on anybody, anywhere,
mm-hmm.
any place. So,
Yeah.
come with it. She got the belts, she's got the accolades, she's got the resume building, and she's a force to be reckoned with. So I'm literally talking to a history maker
Thank you.
on this interview. So it's truly an honor. Um, so with your few years into wrestling and what you've been able to accomplish up to this point, now in wrestling, it's a tough business. It takes
Yeah.
a toll on the body, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So, what I wanted to ask, for the inspiring, for those that's trying to get a start, for those that's wondering if this is something they want to pursue,
Mhm.
what's your advice to those that are aspiring to be a wrestler? What would your advice be?
Um, Wrestling is not for the faint of heart. It's not. And the people tend to see like the finished product, which is like, you know, workers going through the curtain in their gear, they get in, they do their job, they go back through the curtain, that's it. They don't really see everything that's like behind the curtain and all the driving hours. Because as an indie wrestler, well, even people in the WWE, there are a lot of hours that you will be on the road, a lot of hours. Um, and if you're traveling by yourself, which a lot of the times, especially when you're up and coming, you'll be traveling by yourself. I've driven like 7.5 hours, and that's really not that bad. I think the farthest I've driven is like 14.5 hours for a show. So it's a lot of hours on the road. You also have to, work out, get your diet together because it's a lot of cardio. If your cardio is not up, you cannot be, I'm not gonna say you can't be a wrestler, but it's gonna be very difficult to be
Yeah.
one. You have to have a good school to train at. That's one of the biggest things because if you're not trained, you're unsafe. And we're putting our bodies and our lives on the line every time we get in the ring. We make it look easy, but it's not. So make sure that your foundation is built with your training. Um, and then I met Xavier Woods years ago, and he was giving me and another guy, advice on getting into the business. And he was like, everything is about you have to work hard to figure out who you are and then be the best at who that is. And then even if you get to a point where you get a contract, that's when the actual hard work starts. So whatever hard work you think you're doing now is absolutely nothing compared to the hard work that you're going to have to do once you get the contract. Um, Work hard, be a good person, don't burn bridges. Um, and then just be the best you because you're not going to be the next Rock. You're not going to be the next Roman Reigns. You're not going to be the next John Cena. You have to be the best version of yourself and make that mean something.
Well said. Um, just wrestling, like it's not ballet, as
Nope,
people like to say.
girl.
Um,
I've had
so
doing this, so
yeah,
yeah, this
oh,
is. Mm-mm.
for sure, for sure. Well, to you, Nyxx, thank you so much for your time having
Thank
this
you.
chat. I've definitely been wanting to interview you for quite some time, and I'm happy to say that I did. And thank you for showing off your championships.
Oh, I really
Um,
for having me though. It really means a lot.
yeah, so props to you and props to everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Definitely striving to get better and better and better.
Every
And I look forward to seeing more championships added to your collection in the foreseeable future.
I got
Y'all
my waist is a little empty, so I need another one. You know,
yeah, so check out Nyxx The Goddess. She is on Instagram. at Nyxx The Goddess. That's NY 2X's The Goddess. And her link tree is on there. You can check out the social media sites as well. Book her, check her out, buy her merch, support independent wrestling, support independent wrestlers. They truly appreciate it. That's a lot of hardworking men and women. And a lot of the wrestlers, majority of them at least that you saw in WrestleMania, they got their start on the indies, working their way to where they are now. So who
Yep.
knows? You go to that indie show, you might see that next big star. And you can look back and say, hey, I saw Nyxx The Goddess. You know what I'm saying? So you never know. So go support independent wrestling and support the talent and the promotions that's putting good shows out there in your city, in your state, and in your tri-state area as well. So Nyxx, thank you so much for your time. Continued success and everything. And hopefully I'll see you in person one of these days. I know I'm in Kentucky, and I'm starting to make some friends in Memphis. Anyway, one of my sisters was born in Memphis,
Okay.
so she lives in South Carolina now, but she got Tennessee ties.
Okay.
Memphis, more
Yeah.
specific. So, but thank you for your time and chatting with me, and best of success with you for the remainder of your year and career. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
All right, you have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your week.
See y'all later.
All right.